You can bet my TRX is in my bag. My TRX is in my bag all the time. It's 2 pounds. I mean, hey, we get the total weight that we do of 50 pounds to fly. So it only takes 2 pounds. I got 48 pounds to go.
Right.
And then I can perform thousands of different exercise movements. I'm also taking, obviously whatever I need, which I'm a guy. I don't need much, obviously, to put inside my bag and carry. And then, my nutrition is a big, big part of my life. So I'm always making sure I got my protein powder, all my BioTrust products. I'm constantly making sure my cookies, my oatmeal BioTrust cookies, and, those are the big things. And then I'm bringing my attitude. That's what I'm bringing. I'm putting that in my bag. I'm making sure that my attitude is the most positive that I could ever be, because my energy, as you know, at 40 years old, Tyler, is off the chain. I don't know any other way. And I just want to affect as many people out there in the world that I can help as much as possible, because I've been blessed along my way, and I got so much more to give.
Awesome, Dan. Well, you mentioned nutrition there. I'm interested to know kind of what your philosophy is on nutrition, because I've seen you're about, 6'2", maybe 220, something like that?
Wow, you're on point.
Yeah.
You're on point. Yeah, 6'2", 224 pounds.
Yeah. Dan's a big guy, but he's also ripped, right? And so, Dan, what do you do for nutrition to keep you so lean?
Well, I know a lot of people say, do you really have to eat 6 to 7 times a day? The answer to that is yes. I eat at least 6 to 7 times a day, small meals. I don't eat huge meals. I'm doing probably 2 protein shakes a day, 1 post-workout, 1 pre-workout. I'm also doing, for my breakfast, I'm a creature of habit, really, honestly. I could eat the same thing
every day.
I really could. I eat, that's good that you asked that question. I eat egg whites every morning, scrambled. I also eat a bowl of oatmeal with a little bit of almond milk and some brown sugar.
Sure.
And these are obviously a non-cheat day.
Yeah.
And then I'll do 2 high protein meals midsection of the day, like lunch and then also dinner. So between the 2 shakes, the breakfast, there's 3, 2 other meals, which is lunch and dinner, there's 5. And then I'll add in at least 1 more snack, if not another snack. And that could be like, I love almonds, and my wife takes my almonds and she roasts them in the oven, and oh my gosh, they're off the chain. Those, or protein bar. I'll sneak in only 1 of those a day, no more than that. I do love fruit. I don't eat a lot of it, but I do eat 1 piece a day. And then I also do all my vitamins and then all my nutritional supplements that I take from the BioTrust brand. Obviously, they're all natural, so it's a great thing. My BCAAs is another big thing I'm always carrying with me.
Yeah, sure. That's a powerful supplement to take when you want to maintain lean muscle mass, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it sounds like you kind of adhere to that classic kind of bodybuilding, old school bodybuilding style where you're eating frequently, you're really managing that protein, making sure you get a lot of whole foods in your body, right?
Yes, exactly. That's really what I've been doing, and it works for me. And what works for me might not work for someone else, but there's a lot of people into intermittent actual fasting. There's people that you don't want to be around me fasting. You don't want to be around me fasting. It's not good. It's not a good sight. So that doesn't work well with me. I know it works well with other people, but the meals I have found is the best for me, and that keeps my muscles full. It keeps me feeling great. My brain functions awesome. I sit here at 40 years old, and I can tell you that one of the most beautiful things in the world is when your life insurance company comes back to you and says, you are super ultra preferred. Whatever you're doing, don't change it, because you have the lowest rate possible for 20 years. Yes.
Right on, Dan. So you talked about a little bit of nutrition. Let's take a look at what your actual training looks like. So, like on a normal week, do you do, 3 workouts a week, 4 workouts? Do you do suspension training? Do you do some lifting still? Give me a snapshot into what your actual workout routine still looks like.
Okay, snapshot of what my normal work. Okay, it would be, I normally train on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I take Thursday off, and then I train Friday, Saturday normally, and take Sunday off. So I train 5 days a week.
Sure.
The old school mentality of pushing beyond the limits of needing having someone spot you, I'm over that, because I've had my injuries.
Yeah.
I've had my aches and pains. And that's another reason why I got into suspension training, because it's helped me so much hit the deep tissue fiber to eliminate a lot of those pains that I had without having to use medication.
Sure.
But I love weights, Tyler. I love weights. So I lift weights. I've split up the muscle groups. I do my calves one day, believe it or not, and I do my calves one day with my actual hamstrings. I split those up. And then I also do my quads on another day. So I split those up. And then I use, and then I'll do like my biceps and triceps. I'll probably do those together. I do my back muscles a separate day and my shoulders a separate day. And then I do abs every single day. And I do at least 700 abs a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah, okay, so you're working a lot of core movements every single day.
Yes, and I also incorporate throughout all those muscle groups, I will do weights, I'll do some machines. Obviously, there's some things like hamstring curls and things that you obviously want to engage that you can really get the best workout with like a machine. But I love free weights, but I love sandbags. I love ropes. I love tires. I love sledgehammers. You know, I'm the guy with Kill Mode Training. You're coming to us, you're getting a Disney World experience because we're all about all the things that people are scared to touch because they don't either know how to use them or they look intimidating. But then you get that person in there and like myself, and you start swinging around a 50-pound sledgehammer and people are like, holy cow, can I try that? And I get on a TRX and I start doing an upside down shoulder press, or I'll do a plank on a plank, a piece of wood. And it's very enlightening to people to actually challenge your body and your mind. And then it makes you feel like this self-confidence once you've done it. And so I incorporate TRX probably at least, I would say 3 to 4 times out of all my workouts during the week out of the 5 days. So probably 4 days a week, I actually do TRX included. My core is my strongest part of my body.
Yeah, if you're doing hundreds of reps a day, I'm sure it's your strongest part of your body, right?
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, my favorite thing about you, Dan, is your mindset, okay, and that good attitude. So I want to talk about the Kill Mode mindset. How did you cultivate that in yourself? How do you bring it out in your clients and your athletes? And how can people at home cultivate that Kill Mode mindset to get better results out of their training?
Okay, so thank you for asking this question.
Pressure's on, baby.
Mindset is this. It's simple. Once a very, very, very high respected president of the Outback Corporation asked me exactly that question. You wake up in the morning, and when you roll out of bed, you got 2 choices. One, you're either going to have a can-do attitude and you're going to be positive, or 2, you're going to roll out of that bed and you're going to have I can't attitude, which is not in my vocabulary, okay? And you're going to have a negative attitude. Because people have a mindset of whatever they choose to have. It's your choice of how you want to be. So in my beliefs, Tyler, I know that I always have more to give. And I know that, yeah, maybe I just busted out some exercises that looked really extreme, but there's always a way to add another exercise to it. Or there's always a way to do it 1 more rep. Or there's always a way to do a little bit faster. There's always a way where if my bills need to get paid, that I can go out and help other people in some way and I'm going to get blessed back, or it may be, maybe someone out there is just looking for someone to lean on that has a positive attitude. And, the way of the world is you get out, you put out what you get back, and you get back what you put out. So I believe, Tyler, that the mindset is very, very important. And I'm all about teaching people on how to be a champion. And it doesn't mean you have to be inside the Super Bowl to be a champion or the Major League Baseball World Series to be a champion. You are your own champion. So when you accomplish the unthinkable, you become a champion. So what is the unthinkable? Right now in everyone's head, there is something that they believe they can't do.
Right.
So if you have a coach and you have someone like myself or you, Tyler, that's standing in front of them and you're giving them the understanding of what it takes to go out and execute exactly that. If it may be exercise, if it may be the nutrition, I can't get to the grocery store. Yes, you can. You have to figure out a way to make these things happen. So it starts with the mindset. So when you wake up in the morning, I challenge everybody out there that if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, which I don't even know what that means, but when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, okay, get on the right side of the bed and say to yourself, all right, Dan and Tyler put on this interview specifically to teach me a new mindset to be able to wake up in the morning and say, I am going to dominate one thing. And you pick that one thing and you are hell bent to make sure that one thing gets done. I promise you, it'll multiply to 2, then it'll multiply to 3. And before you know it, your whole day, for the most part, we're all human, is domination in every single way. That's your kids, that's your family, that's your your eating habits, that's your exercise programs. So you're right, Tyler, mindset is everything to me. It's very important, and I teach that with every client that I touch, and I teach that with every person. And obviously, I've somehow affected you in that way to see that, there's only one way, and it's the right way, and it's the positive way, and it's the giving way.
That's awesome, Dan. That was about the best little tidbit I've heard on this podcast about mindset is get it done, turn that thing around, make it happen. I love it, man. That's great.
Yeah, man.
You get what you give. That's a fantastic thing for everybody to remember. All right, so, man, I don't know where to go from there. That should have been the grand finale, right? All right, well, let's talk a little bit about...
Flip the switch.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the future of Dan Long, because right now, Dan, you've only had Kill Mode for a handful of years. You just launched Suspension Revolution a little bit ago. It's blowing up like a wildfire online. It's going to be the biggest suspension training product out there. So what's your plans for the future, Dan? What do you plan on doing with Kill Mode, with other people? Where do you see yourself 5-10 years down the road?